ago, so it's very just the preliminary results, and the main objective of me being here is to let you know that we started working in the Egyptian Red Sea, and we are very open to every kind of collaborations. So just to give you a quick overview. There are 5 species of sea turtles in the Egyptian Red Sea waters, but only the green turtle and the hawksbill are considered as common. You can find them feeding or nesting in these areas. And then you have the loggerhead turtle that is usually common in the Gulf of Aden, which is basically the entrance to the Red Sea. And then we also got sporadic reports of leatherback and olive breeding. The thing is that there is a huge gap of information, lack of information about marine turtles in this area. There has been some sporadic scattered works on sea turtles nesting in the Red Sea. So we know that, for example, the hawksbill turtles prefer to nest in the northern Egyptian Red Sea, and green turtles have major nesting sites in the southern Red Sea, but we don't know almost anything about the foraging grounds. But we also know that the Red Sea is all the threats that provoke the decline of marine turtles all around the world. You can find all of them in the Red Sea, and in this particular moment what we are more concerned about is the coastal development, because there is a little bit of lack of authorities at the moment, so a lot of developers are just taking advantage of this just to do whatever they want, basically. So, because we want to start a kind of research project with a very strong conservation focus, our first question is how many animals are we talking about? So we just want to have an idea of how many marine turtles are using the coastal foraging grounds in the Egyptian Red Sea. And also, are we talking about what is the population structure? So is mostly male, females, juveniles, or adults? So it's quite a big area because we have around 1,000 kilometers of coast. It's from the south, from the Sinai Peninsula down to Shalatin, and so it's around 1,000 kilometers plus 20 islands plus more than 100 reefs scattered all along the Red Sea. And the team is basically, we are 2, so it's kind of a big area. We split it into 2 parts. So in the northern Red Sea, we rely on dive centers that are sending reports on turtle sightings. And in the southern area, we picked 12 index sites with very extensive seagrasses, and we are monitoring that on a monthly basis. So for the Turtle Watch is the project that is working in the north. We are now working with, actually it's 10 dive centers right now, but I mean I'm using data in this presentation only from 6 of them, and basically they have this form, and they just the basic information they have to send is when they are going out, where, and if they see turtles or not, and how many. And then if they can also collect other data on species, size, and gender. In the southern part, where I'm working with my colleague that is not here, unfortunately, at the moment, we picked 12 index sites, and we are doing transit sampling. We just basically snorkel in these 12 days, and every time we see a turtle, we try to take data on location, species, approximate size, depth, substrate, activity at first sight, and when we are lucky, we also collect photo ID pictures. Oops. So this is I didn't put the 2 data sets together because obviously the methodology are different. So these are the data from the Turtle Watch, so from the dive centers in the north. You can see in the graph that in the first, from March to July, there is a strong correlation between the number of sightings and the effort. But then from July on, the dive centers started to send daily reports. So that was pretty good. We got a total of 244 days covered since from March to January. The dive centers went to 69 sites, but we got turtles only on 61% of them, so it's around 40 dive sites. They reported 330 turtles, 60% of which being Oaksville. Now, because most of the sightings we don't have pictures to go with, we don't know if we are talking about the same turtles or not. But what we did was cross-check if there were two dive centers in the same site, and they reported both in the same day. They reported turtles, then we eliminated, we adjusted the number. So here you can see the population structure. We applied the correction of we kind of filtered the data, but we still need to do a little bit more work on that. But in general, we have a majority of adult and subadult individuals. And for we accepted the gender only for the adults, and we got the ratio for the green turtle of 3 to 2, 3 females to 2 males, and 6 to 5 for the Oaksville. Now, from the project that we are carrying out in the south, so it's covering the period from July to February. It's a total of 7 field surveys. In December, we were not able to go in the field, but in total, we got 636 sightings. 90% of them were green turtles. This is not surprising because the areas we are monitoring in the south is basically seagrass areas, so obviously you have a majority of green turtles. The reefs are not very accessible in the south. You need a boat to go and monitor there, so I guess this is normal. So the population estimate is based on the transect sampling. So basically, you swim along the transect. It's bed transect. You have a surveyed area, and then you estimate the abundance in the total area that you are surveying. We identified 6 main feeding grounds with a quite interesting number of turtles every month. I'm presenting here just 2 of them. So one is Marsa Boulevard. This bay, it's a relatively small area, and the interesting part is that there are hotels and all around, and the beach is private. There is a population that is constant over time, and the turtles are not scared at all by people. So actually, we got very good photo ID data in this area. And we were able to estimate the population, the monthly population, using the transect method and the capture mark recapture models. So you can see there is a difference of around 12 individuals between the two estimates. But as I said, we have not even one year of data, so it's just we are still playing with the data and see what we can get. But the interesting thing here is that we noted the difference between the nesting and non-nesting season. So at the end of the nesting season, you had a lot of adult males coming suddenly to the bay that we didn't see before. And in the last 3 months, we saw them actually every month, they say. This one is Torfel, is a bay much more in the south. It's within a protected area, and there is nothing built around. It's much bigger bay. The total area actually of the bay is much wider, but we are just considering our area. The limit is the 15-meter depth, because snorkeling, this is our maximum limit when we are free diving. The interesting thing here is that there are 2 main areas that they are using. The one in the north is mostly corals, and they are using it as a cleaning station. And in the southern part, they are sharing the area with dugongs, so it's mostly for feeding. So as I said, this is just preliminary results, but we have seen that there is kind of a stable population over time, because We didn't find any specific difference from one month to another in the number of turtles in the 12 index sites actually that we are monitoring. We have a lot of subadults and adults individual, but we don't have a lot of juveniles. But there is still an area in the far south of the Egyptian coast that we cannot monitor at the moment, but the fishermen reported a lot of very small turtles, so maybe they are there. About the impact of human activities, we still don't have a clear idea. There are a lot of problems, and we are trying. Our concern now is to keep the areas where they are pristine, because it's well, at least we try to preserve them. There are still a lot to do. We are planning to start work on nesting grounds this year. Also in the feeding grounds, what is missing now is habitat characterization, so we are starting to collect data on seagrass coverage and seagrass diversity. Also, we want to do some studies, at least within the protected areas, on short and long-term movements. And then we are working with the kids and local students on awareness and capacity building. And now we also need the field vet, because we found an interesting number of sea turtles that are stranding on the beach, and we don't have any capacity to rehabilitate them. So I think this is it. I just want to add, really, we are